When the grid goes down, survival isn't about flashy $500 gear or sci-fi gadgets, it's about the basics, the stuff that works. And guess what? Most of it costs less than your last coffee run. Today, we're diving into 7 dirt-cheap survival items you've probably walked past at the dollar store. These are the unsung heroes, multi-use tools, off-grid hacks, and silent lifesavers that preppers swear by when the shelves are empty. Prepping doesn't have to break the bank. These budget-friendly essentials are proof that survival is about smarts, not spending. If you're serious about real-world prepping, no fluff, no fear-mongering, this is the list you need. Hit subscribe and tap the bell for weekly no-nonsense survival tips that actually work when it matters most. Let's get into it. 1. Old eyeglass frames. The hidden survival multi-tool. Most people toss their old eyeglass frames into a drawer or the trash without a second thought. But in a survival situation, those seemingly useless frames can become one of the most versatile tools in your arsenal, especially the metal ones. Let's break it down. First, the wire. Eyeglass frames are made from incredibly durable and flexible materials, often stainless steel or aluminum. If you've ever tried to bend one out of shape, you know how tough they are. That wire can be a lifesaver when traditional cordage like paracord or duct tape isn't available. You can use it to repair zippers, patch up torn clothing, or even secure a splint in place if you're dealing with an injury. It's strong, lightweight, and easy to manipulate, making it a perfect substitute for more traditional survival tools. But the utility doesn't stop there. The temple arms, the part that rests over your ears, are usually straight and narrow, and in many cases they're made of stainless steel or aluminum. With a little ingenuity, you can sharpen these into makeshift blades or mini pry tools. While they're not your first choice for cutting or prying, in a long-term survival scenario, you'll want every tool that can multitask. Even a small hook made from the frame wire can be used to create a snare for catching small game. And let's not forget barter value. In a post-collapse economy, where every item has to earn its keep, a single pair of eyeglass frames can be disassembled into multiple tradable components. Each piece, whether it's a sharpened arm, a length of wire, or a makeshift hook, can be bartered for other essentials. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Fire starting. If your frames have a reflective surface, you can polish them and use them to focus sunlight onto dry tinder. It's not the easiest method, but in bright conditions, it's absolutely doable. And unlike plastic-based survival gear, metal frames can withstand the heat without melting or warping. Need to hang a food sack off the ground? Want to reinforce a torn strap on your bug-out bag? A bent eyeglass frame can handle it. Wrap one arm around a tree branch to create a hook or twist 2 frames together for added strength. The possibilities are endless. The best part, they weigh next to nothing. You can toss a few pairs into your bag without even noticing the extra weight. And unlike high-end multi-tools, they don't scream valuable in a crisis, making them less likely to attract unwanted attention. So, the next time you're about to throw out an old pair of glasses, think twice. In a survival situation, those frames could be the difference between improvising and thriving. 2. Empty coffee cans. The survival powerhouse you're throwing away. An empty coffee can might seem like trash, but in a survival scenario, it's a goldmine of utility. Whether it's a metal can or one of the newer plastic ones, these containers are designed to be durable, airtight, and versatile, qualities that make them invaluable when the grid goes down. Let's start with storage. Coffee cans are perfect for stockpiling dry goods like rice, beans, flour, sugar, or oats. Their airtight design keeps moisture, bugs, and rodents out, ensuring your food stays safe and edible for the long haul. Stack a few of these on a shelf and you've got a low-cost DIY food storage system that rivals expensive prepper gear. But coffee cans aren't just for storage. In an off-grid emergency, they double as cooking pot. Fill one with water, place it over an open flame or hot coals, and you've got a makeshift boiler. This is critical for disinfecting water or cooking dehydrated meals. Unlike many modern pots that aren't fire-safe, a metal coffee can is built to handle high heat without breaking down. Need light at night? Turn your coffee can into a windproof lantern. Just drop a candle inside and cut small ventilation holes. The can will shield the flame from wind and provide a steady source of light. Need to signal for help? Polish the metal surface and use it as a makeshift mirror to reflect sunlight. Coffee cans are also excellent for hiding valuables. Snap the lid on, bury it, And you've got a waterproof, weatherproof stash for important items like fire-starting kits, medications, or even cash. And if you're dealing with pests, coffee cans can be turned into traps. Fill one with bait, punch a hole in the lid, and place it in your pantry or tent. It's a simple, effective way to protect your food supply from critters. In a barter economy, presentation matters. Showing up with clean, sealed food in a coffee can is far more professional than handing over a Ziploc bag. It signals that you're organized and serious, which can make a big difference in negotiations. And let's not forget the creative uses. Need to hang a lantern or anchor a tarp? A coffee can's sturdy design makes it a reliable anchor point. Need to carry water? It's not ideal, but in a pinch, a coffee can will do the job. The best part, they're free. You're already buying the coffee, so why not rinse and save the can? Every one you throw away is a missed opportunity to add a versatile, nearly indestructible tool to your survival kit. 3. Metal clothes hangers. The overlooked survival MVP, metal clothes hangers, are one of those everyday items that most people overlook. They sit quietly in your closet, holding up your shirts, but in a survival situation, they transform into one of the most versatile tools you can have. Let's break down why. First, the wire. Metal hangers are made from strong, malleable steel. This isn't some flimsy plastic. It's a material that can be bent, cut, and reshaped into dozens of functional tools. Need a snare for catching small animals? Straighten out a hanger, bend it into a loop, and you're good to go. Need a fishing hook? Sharpen one end and curve it into shape. Need a skewer for cooking over an open flame? A straightened hanger works perfectly. But the real magic of hangers lies in their versatility for building and fixing. If your shelter is falling apart, you can use hanger wire to reinforce tarp grommets or secure loose poles. Need to suspend a pot over a fire? Twist a few hangers together to create a hanging frame. Something break on your backpack? Thread the wire through and twist it into place. This is crisis engineering at its finest. And your closet is full of the raw materials. Hangers also have surprising uses in communication and defense. A straightened hanger can serve as an emergency antenna for FM or AM radios. In remote areas, even a small boost in range can mean the difference between silence and critical information. And in a worst-case scenario, a sharpened hanger can be used as a last resort self-defense weapon. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. In first aid situations, hanger wire can be a lifesaver. Use it to secure a splint, fasten a tourniquet, or even bend it into a finger brace. It's not pretty, but survival isn't about aesthetics. It's about function. And here's the kicker. In a barter economy, hangers are currency. Wire is a rare and valuable resource in a grid-down world. People will need it to fix, build, and improvise. And your stash of hangers could become incredibly valuable. Bundle them together, tie them with string, and offer them as modular DIY kits for trade. So the next time you're cleaning out your closet, don't toss those bent-up hangers, straighten them, stash them, and thank yourself later. In a survival scenario, that ugly tangle of metal could be the difference between chaos and control. 4 manual can openers, the unsung hero of food access. When it comes to survival gear, people love to talk about tactical knives, multi-tools, and hatchets, but let's get real. None of that matters if you can't open a can of food when the power's out and the grocery shelves are empty. Enter the old-fashioned manual can opener, a tool so basic it's often overlooked, yet so essential it could make or break your emergency food plan. Here's the deal. Canned food is a survival staple. It's calorie-dense, shelf-stable, and widely available. But without a way to open those cans, all that food might as well be locked in a vault. Sure, you could try using a knife or a rock, but that's a recipe for injury, wasted food, and a whole lot of frustration. A manual can opener, on the other hand, is efficient, safe, and foolproof. Even a child can use one with minimal guidance. Unlike electric can openers, which are useless in a blackout, or multi-tools with awkward, slow-to-use openers, a manual can opener is designed for one job, and it does it perfectly. It doesn't matter if the can is old, dented, or has a thick lid. A good manual opener can handle it all. And let's not forget, not all cans are created equal. Different brands, regions, and even decades of manufacturing produce cans with varying lid designs. A proper manual opener adjusts to these differences, effortlessly. But the value of a manual can opener goes beyond just opening cans. It's about maintaining a sense of normalcy and comfort in a crisis. Imagine being able to open a can of soup or fruit without spilling it everywhere or cutting yourself. That small act of control can do wonders for morale when everything else feels chaotic. Plus, the precision of a manual opener means you can safely remove lids for reuse. Those lids can become fire starters, digging tools, or even makeshift cooking surfaces. Now let's talk barter value. In a post-collapse world where canned food is abundant but openers are scarce, having a manual can opener gives you leverage. You could trade it outright for something valuable or offer to open cans in exchange for a portion of the food. Either way, this simple tool becomes a powerful asset. The best part, manual can openers are cheap, durable, and lightweight. For under $10, you can grab a couple. One for your kitchen, one for your bug-out bag, and maybe a spare to stash away. They take up almost no space and can last for decades if properly cared for. So while everyone else is obsessing over high-tech gadgets, make sure you've got this low-tech lifesaver in your kit. When the chips are down, it might just be the MVP of your survival gear. 5 old shower curtains. The overlooked survival shield. That old shower curtain hanging in your bathroom, the one you've been meaning to replace. Don't toss it just yet. In a survival scenario, that seemingly useless piece of plastic can become one of the most versatile tools in your arsenal. It's lightweight, waterproof, and surprisingly durable, qualities that make it invaluable when the unexpected happens. Let's start with shelter. Shower curtains, especially vinyl or pivot ones, are excellent for creating quick, low-cost emergency shelters. Lost your tent fly? No problem. Drape the curtain over a rope or tarp structure and you've got an instant roof. Need to keep your gear dry during a storm? Wrap it up in the curtain and seal the edges with duct tape. It's not fancy, but it works. And because most shower curtains are large enough to cover a twin bed, you've got plenty of material to work with. But the uses don't stop there. Shower curtains are perfect for water-related tasks. For example, you can use one to line a solar still. Dig a hole, place a container in the center, stretch the curtain over the top, and weigh it down with a rock. The sun will evaporate moisture from the ground, which will condense on the plastic and drip into the container. It's a simple, effective way to collect drinkable water in a pinch. Shower curtains also shine when it comes to sanitation. In a crisis, clean surfaces are hard to come by. Lay the curtain down as a sterile prep area for first aid, or fold and tape it into a makeshift biohazard barrier for handling waste. You can even use it as a body wrap to prevent hypothermia. While it won't insulate you, it will trap heat and block wind, which can be a lifesaver in cold conditions. And let's not forget about protecting your gear. Wet blankets, soaked firewood, and damp clothes are liabilities in a survival situation. A shower curtain can act as a waterproof shield, keeping your essentials dry and usable. Unlike heavy-duty tarps, it folds down into a compact, flexible sheet that's easy to carry. Toss one into your bug-out bag, and you'll barely notice the extra weight. In a barter economy, shower curtains can also become valuable trade items. Their water-resistant properties make them ideal for tasks like lining greenhouses, patching roofs, or creating dry sleeping surfaces. Most people won't think to save them, which means you'll have a high-demand item when resources are scarce. The bottom line, that old stained shower curtain you were about to throw away could be a game-changer in a survival scenario. Clean it, fold it, and pack it away. It's not glamorous, but when the sips are down, it's the practical, unassuming tools that make all the difference. 6. Large mason jars, the survival workhorse you didn't know you needed. At first glance, a mason jar might seem like nothing more than a kitchen staple. But in a survival situation, this humble glass container transforms into one of the most versatile, low-cost tools you can have. It's not flashy, it's not tactical, but it's practical in ways that will surprise you. Let's start with food storage. Mason jars are airtight, durable, and reusable, making them perfect for stockpiling dry goods like rice, beans, grains, seeds, or powdered milk. Unlike plastic containers, they don't degrade over time or leach chemicals into your food. Just clean, refill, and reseal as needed. They're sustainable, long-lasting, and keep moisture and pests out. Qualities that are critical when every resource counts. But the real magic of mason jars lies in their adaptability. For instance, they can be used for water purification. Fill a jar with water and leave it in direct sunlight for several hours. The UV rays will kill off harmful pathogens, making the water safe to drink. It's a simple, low-tech solution that requires no batteries or filters, just patience and sunlight. Need light? A mason jar can double as a makeshift lantern. Fill it with water and place it near a flame. The water acts as a heat buffer, preventing the glass from cracking while also diffusing the light to softly illuminate a small area. Add a bit of oil or wax, and you've got a silent, safe light source for the night. Mason jars are also invaluable for food preparation. Use them to ferment vegetables like sauerkraut, sprout seeds, or even brew herbal remedies. The airtight seal keeps contaminants out while allowing gases to escape, turning basic pantry items into nutrient-rich, long-lasting food sources. In a survival scenario, this kind of self-sufficiency is priceless. And let's not forget their utility in barter economies. A clean, sealed mason jar filled with food or other essentials like spices or coffee can be a high-value trade item. It's not just about what's inside, it's about the presentation. A well-sealed jar signals professionalism and trust, which can go a long way when resources are scarce. Mason jars can even serve as tools. Fill one with reflective objects like foil or coins, and you've got a signaling device to catch sunlight and attract attention. Need a weight or ballast? Fill the jar with sand, pebbles, or water, and it becomes a makeshift anchor, doorstop, or even a hammer in a pinch. The best part, mason jars are often free if you reuse jars from store-bought goods like pickles or sauces. Even if you buy them new, they're incredibly affordable and will outlast most modern gadgets. They're easy to clean, sterilize, and repurpose, making them a silent but powerful ally in any survival kit. So, the next time you see a mason jar, don't dismiss it as just another kitchen item. In a crisis, it's a food vault, water purifier, light source, and barter tool all rolled into one. It's proof that sometimes, the simplest tools are the most effective. 7 cotton t-shirts. The ultimate survival multi-tool. A cotton t-shirt might seem like the last thing you'd consider a survival tool, but in a crisis this everyday item becomes a jack of all trades. It's cheap, versatile, and something almost everyone already owns. Don't underestimate its potential. First, let's talk about wound care and filtration. A clean cotton t-shirt can be cut into strips to create bandages or dressings for wounds. It's soft, absorbent, and gentle on the skin, making it ideal for first aid. Need to filter debris out of collected water? Stretch the fabric over a container to strain out dirt and particles before boiling. It's not a full purification system, but it's a critical first step in making water safer to drink. When it comes to shelter and insulation, a t-shirt is surprisingly useful. In cold conditions, layering t-shirt fabric between blankets or clothing can trap air and provide extra insulation. You can also use it to block wind or create shade by attaching it to poles or tarps. Even a whole shirt can serve as a lightweight sunshade or dust barrier in arid environments. Need cordage? A t-shirt can be torn into long strips and twisted into makeshift rope. These strips can be used to tie down gear, secure shelter poles, or even create slings and tourniquets in emergencies. The fabric is strong enough to hold knots and flexible enough to adapt to various tasks. It's not paracord, but it gets the job done. Cotton t-shirts also shine when it comes to comfort and morale. In a survival situation, having a clean, dry piece of clothing can make a world of difference. It's not just about staying warm or protected, it's about maintaining a sense of normalcy and dignity. A fresh shirt can lift your spirits when everything else feels chaotic. And let's not forget barter value. In a collapse scenario, clean, wearable clothing becomes a valuable commodity. A simple cotton t-shirt can be traded for food, water, or other essentials, especially if it's in good condition. It's a practical item that people will always need, making it a smart addition to your survival stash. The versatility doesn't stop there. A t-shirt can be used as padding for shoes, a grip for tools, or even a makeshift bag for carrying items. With basic sewing skills, you can turn it into pouches, patches, or reinforced gear. It's lightweight, easy to pack, and requires no special training to use. The bottom line, a cotton t-shirt is more than just clothing. It's a survival tool with endless possibility. Whether you're using it for first aid, filtration, insulation, or barter, This simple garment proves that sometimes the most unassuming items are the most valuable. So, before you toss out that old shirt, think about how it could save your life when it matters most. Bonus point 8. Aluminum foil, the lightweight survival powerhouse. Aluminum foil is one of those everyday kitchen items that most people don't think twice about. It's cheap, lightweight, and disposable. Or so it seems. But in a survival situation, this shiny roll of metal becomes an incredibly versatile tool that punches far above its weight. Let's start with cooking. Aluminum foil is a lifesaver when it comes to preparing food in the wild. Wrap fish, vegetables, or meat in foil and toss it into the coals of a fire for a quick, mess-free meal. No pots, no problem. You can even fold foil into a makeshift bowl or tray to hold food or water. It's heat-resistant, so it won't burn easily, and it's flexible enough to mold into whatever shape you need. But foil isn't just for cooking. It's also a fantastic insulator. In cold weather, you can use it to reflect heat back toward your body. Line the inside of your jacket or sleeping bag with foil to trap warmth and keep the cold out. It's not a replacement for proper gear, but in a pinch, it can make a big difference. Need to signal for help? Aluminum foil's reflective surface makes it an excellent signaling tool. Flash it in the sunlight to catch the attention of rescuers or use it to mark trails, so you don't get lost. You can even use it to create a makeshift mirror for grooming or checking injuries. Foil also has some surprising uses in fire starting. Crumple it into a small ball and use it as a conductor to create sparks with a battery. Alternatively, fold it into a flat strip and use it to bridge the terminals of a battery to ignite tinder. It's a simple, effective way to get a fire going when matches or lighters aren't available. And let's not forget its role in food preservation. Wrap leftovers or perishable items in foil to keep them fresh longer. In a survival situation, every scrap of food counts, and foil can help you make the most of what you have. Aluminum foil is also incredibly compact and lightweight, making it easy to carry in your bug-out bag or survival kit. A single roll can provide dozens of uses, from cooking and insulation to signaling and fire starting. It's one of those items that seems mundane until you realize just how much it can do. So, the next time you're packing your survival gear, don't overlook aluminum foil. It's cheap, versatile, and endlessly useful, a true unsung hero of the prepping world. Bonus point 9, duct tape. The ultimate fix-it tool. If there's one item that deserves a spot in every survival kit, it's duct tape. This sticky, durable, and ridiculously versatile tool has earned its reputation as the ultimate fix-it solution. Whether you're repairing gear, building shelter, or improvising tools, duct tape is the go-to item that can handle just about anything. Let's start with repairs. In a survival situation, things break, tents tear, backpacks rip, and shoes fall apart. Duct tape can patch up all of these and more. Use it to seal holes in your tarp, reinforce the straps on your bag, or even repair a cracked water bottle. It's waterproof, so it'll hold up in wet conditions, and it's strong enough to withstand significant wear and tear. Duct tape is also a lifesaver when it comes to first aid. Need to secure a splint or bandage? Wrap it with duct tape. Got a blister? Cover it with a piece of tape to reduce friction and prevent further irritation. You can even use it to create a makeshift sling or tourniquet in an emergency. It's not the most elegant solution, but it works, and in survival that's all that matters. Building shelter, duct tape has you covered. Use it to secure branches, poles, or tarps when constructing a lean-to or other emergency shelter. It's strong enough to hold materials together and flexible enough to adapt to different shapes and structures. You can even use it to create a waterproof seal around the edges of your shelter to keep rain and wind out. Duct tape also has some creative uses. Need cordage? Twist a strip of duct tape into a rope. Want to catch small game? Fashion a snare using duct tape and some wire. Need to mark a trail? Tear off small pieces and stick them to trees or rocks as you go. The possibilities are endless. And let's not forget its role in fire starting. Duct tape is flammable, so you can use it as tinder to get a fire going. Just tear off a strip, crumple it up, and light it with a match or lighter. It burns hot and long enough to ignite larger pieces of wood, making it a reliable backup when other fire-starting materials are scarce. Duct tape is compact, lightweight, and easy to carry, making it a no-brainer for any survival kit. A single roll can provide hundreds of uses, from repairs and first aid to shelter building and fire starting. It's the Swiss Army knife of adhesives, a tool that every prepper should have on hand. Bonus point 10, baking soda. the survival all-rounder. Baking soda might not seem like a survival item at first glance, but this humble kitchen staple is a true all-rounder. It's cheap, lightweight, and incredibly versatile, making it an essential addition to any prepper's toolkit. Let's start with hygiene. In a survival situation, staying clean is critical to preventing illness and infection. Baking soda can be used as a natural deodorant, toothpaste, or even a makeshift soap. Mix it with water to create a paste for scrubbing your skin, teeth, or gear. It's gentle, effective, and free of harsh chemicals. Baking soda is also a powerful cleaning agent. Use it to scrub pots, pans, and utensils, or mix it with water to clean surfaces and remove odors. In a pinch, you can even use it to wash clothes. Just add a small amount to a bucket of water, soak your clothes, and rinse. It's not as effective as detergent, but it gets the job done. When it comes to first aid, baking soda has some surprising uses. Got a bug bite or sting? Apply a paste of baking soda and water to reduce itching and swelling. Suffering from heartburn or indigestion? Mix a teaspoon of baking soda with water and drink it to neutralize stomach acid. It's a simple, natural remedy that can provide quick relief. Baking soda also has some practical uses in food preparation. Use it to tenderize meat, leaven bread, or even purify water. Add a small amount to boiling water to help remove impurities and improve the taste. It's a versatile ingredient that can enhance your meals and make limited food supplies go further. And let's not forget its role in fire safety. Baking soda can be used to extinguish small grease or electrical fires. Just sprinkle it over the flames to smother them and prevent the fire from spreading. It's not a replacement for a fire extinguisher, but it's a handy backup in a pinch. Baking soda is lightweight, compact, and easy to store, making it a perfect addition to your survival kit. A single box can provide dozens of uses, from hygiene and cleaning to first aid and food preparation. It's a simple, affordable item that punches well above its weight in a crisis. When it comes to survival, it's not about how much money you spend. It's about how resourceful you are. The 7 low-cost survival items we've covered, along with the bonus tools, prove that you don't need a fortune to be prepared for a crisis. From old eyeglass frames and manual can openers to mason jars and cotton t-shirts, these everyday items are affordable, accessible, and incredibly versatile. They're the unsung heroes of survival, quietly waiting in your home to step up when the unexpected happens. The beauty of these tools lies in their simplicity. They don't rely on batteries, apps, or high-tech gimmicks. They're practical, durable, and multifunctional qualities that truly matter when the grid goes down or the shelves are empty. Whether you're using a shower curtain to build a shelter, duct tape to repair gear, or aluminum foil to cook a meal, these items remind us that survival is about adaptability and ingenuity, not flashy gear. The best part, most of these items are things you already own or can pick up for next to nothing. They're proof that prepping doesn't have to break the bank. It's about thinking ahead, repurposing what you have, and understanding that the simplest tools often have the most life-saving potential. So, as you prepare for the unexpected, remember this: survival isn't about having the most expensive gear. It's about having the right gear. These low-cost items are your secret weapons, ready to help you adapt, overcome, and thrive when it matters most. Start small, think smart, and build your survival kit with tools that actually work. Because when the world goes sideways, it's not the price tag that saves you. It's your preparation.